Momenta follows a very structured methodology in developing training programs and learning journeys. We follow 5 core instructional design frameworks. The first one is Achieve, Do, Learn, ADL. The question you should always ask is, what is the business trying to achieve? What do you want this learning program, this learning journey to achieve? What is the outcome that you're looking for? If you list 25 things to achieve, it's unlikely any training program will be able to fulfill them. What you want to achieve should be narrowed down as specific as possible. What is the outcome you're looking for? From there, then you reverse engineer. What must this person do in order to achieve the business goals? For example, if you want the business to achieve a certain target per month, then the question is, what do they need to do? They need to use a phone, speak on the phone, be convincing, get an appointment, recommend the products, write a quotation, and send out an invoice. Those are the list of things that the person needs to do in order to achieve the results. So, achieve, do, learn, and finally learn. What are the skill sets to learn that are required? Technical skill sets as the telephone operator? What are the analytical skill sets needed to look at a database list to see who would be a qualified opportunity? What are the soft skill sets in learning how to speak confidently and with conviction on the phone? What are the technical skill sets to learn? To write an email, or perhaps a WhatsApp or a short message as a follow-up? What is the knowledge of the product and the services you're interested in offering? So, achieve, do, learn in that sequence. Think about the outcome and reverse engineer it. And that is the first framework that we always look at in Momenta. We hardly ever start with, okay, here's the learning outcome, or here's the learning outline. That would be the last thing that we consider. The first thing is always what the outcome is. What do we want to achieve? In order to achieve that, what do the people need to do? And for them to do the tasks well, what do they need to learn or improve on? It's the first framework. The second framework is under the learn, is MTSK. Is it a mindset issue? Is it a technical skill set? Is it a soft skill or is it knowledge? What are we trying to train them up on? Out of the 100% of the training programs, what are we trying to train them on? Mindset, technical skills, soft skills, or knowledge? Maybe not in that order, but these are the 4 different buckets of what we call mindset and competencies that we want to focus on. The third framework is, how does an individual learn? In training, we abide to a framework called KUAH. K stands for know, U for understand, A stands for apply, and H stands for habit. Particularly in leadership and sales programs, where there's a certain new competency we're trying to embed or improve in an individual, we look at the learning journey of KUAH. That's why reading a book is a wonderful thing to understand, but it may not be the best way to apply. So, KUAH, what are we trying to achieve in this learning journey? Just because you know doesn't mean you understand. Knowing is simply awareness. Knowing that's a swimming pool is just a statement. That body of water in the middle of the condominium is called a swimming pool. That's just know. Just because you know that's a swimming pool doesn't mean that you understand how to swim. How do you understand how to swim? Where you can ask an instructor. You can watch YouTube clips. And there's a lot of clips on water dynamics and streamlining your body with the water. You can understand the science behind swimming. But just because you know that's a swimming pool and you can understand the science of swimming doesn't mean you can swim. Apply is the key. Very often, training programs focus on know and understand, but the application is what we want to focus on. So how do you learn how to swim? Really, you have to jump into the swimming pool and try it out. And in that process of learning how to swim, most people drink swimming pool water. So the ability to make errors, the ability to practice in a safe environment is the way to reinforce that application. Most learners will make mistakes, and making mistakes is perhaps one of the most powerful ways for people to learn. That's why at Momenta, we want to create an environment that will provide the opportunity for people to try and make errors in a safe environment to create that safe space for learning. And ultimately, it's about developing those skills into long-term habits and newly learned behaviors. So, know, understand, apply, and habit. That's the learning journey framework that we adhere to. And we have a very specific way to go about bringing the learning outcome that's desired, typically in a learning journey. Engagement is actually around the different modalities of learning. Is coaching the best way? Is doing assessments online or on paper the best way? Are we just limited to training? virtual training versus in-person training, versus asynchronous or synchronous online learning, versus a facilitated or self-paced online learning, are all different ways of training engagement. When do we use assignments, lectures, reading a book, or watching a YouTube clip? How can we use initiatives, projects, self-reflection, and trials and tribulations to help transfer learning? CATALIST, catalyst. These are the different engagement modalities. Certain topics and skill sets and certain MTSK or mindset, technical skills, soft skills, and knowledge will fit better depending on the modalities. Lastly is ATPAA. This is our framework that we use to design a program. Every program, we follow a fairly rigid and proven methodology called ATPAA. In every program, we try to bring the awareness up. Why are we learning this? What's in it for me? How can this help my business? Where am I in the specific skill set, mindset, or knowledge? Which is awareness. After awareness, we then provide them with tools. After the tools, we give them opportunities to practice, to try the tools learned. Then we try to apply this practice in the right context with real life or simulated situations. In some cases, we want to provide the last A, which is assessment. We want to see if they're learning, and that could be a formative or summative assessment. Formative being for developmental purposes, and summative is almost like a school grade. So there you have it. Achieve, do, learn, MTSK or mindset, technical skills, soft skills and knowledge. KUAH, know, understand, apply, and habit. Engagement modalities. ATPAA, awareness, tools, practice, apply, and assessment. That is the learning science behind Momenta's instructional design framework.